Changed the game. This has changed the game. Oh, Snippety Snap, we live?
Live.
We're live, we're live! Yo! Right. Welcome, everyone.
Hey everybody, it's Digital Cypha with you.
Yeah, we are back. Another episode of the Digital Cypha. Bonnie's couldn't be here today, unfortunately. Rest in peace. But I assure you he is in the Digital Cypher control room. You know, on the ones and twos, spinning the decks. Behind the scenes, he's doing his
Yep.
job. But, you know, before we get into that deal, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here. Glad we're still able to do this. Bonus is, like you said, working in the background, still pushing through, even though he can't be here physically right now. Really great that he's helping out remotely.
Yeah, man, he's doing his job. And man, today in the back we got a bit of Tetris Effect. My new favorite game. Let me tell you that.
It is way better than most people are giving it credit for.
Dude, for real. Tetris Effect is like my new favorite thing.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous.
I've been up till like 1, 2 a.m. every day playing this damn game.
Oh yeah, I mean between the music and like the effects, like it just feels like a new game. You know, like even though it's Tetris, we played it so many times that there's just something about it. It just feels brand new. It's great.
100%. Like, this is the most Tetris I played in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, like the first day me and the Bonds were playing together, and we were doing cooperative, and I was smiling like a kid on Christmas. Like I just came out, it was like ear to ear, big ass smile. It's great.
Yeah, I played a bit of that co-op. Like I played like one round of it. Yo, man, it's this game, man. I didn't think I'd be so hyped about a game of Tetris. No way.
Yeah, I'm
looking
at it now.
Literally,
I'm looking at your play, and it's
so
like, wow, that's so pretty.
Unfortunately, this is not my best gameplay. I got way better since this is recorded. It's very unfortunate. So, yeah, let's not worry about that. It may not look too good, but as we're here for the podcast and not the beautiful background footage.
Yeah, I think we could forgive you. It's that pretty.
I hope so. Please forgive me. So, Dio, look, the countdown has begun. We are about 5 days away from a big little game what you might have heard of called Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. I cannot wait.
It's coming after the many delays, the many years of waiting.
Yeah. And the more and more I hear about it, just the more excited I get.
Right. They released information pretty recently about all the skill trees and whatnot, right?
Yeah, you got like the body skills, which is like your typical like fighting and firearms and stuff like you would expect.
Yeah.
You can do chokeholds and force
you
things
can do
open.
Chokeholds too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. You got like your intellect skills. Your typical like hacking and your nano wiring, networking, which is what you would expect. I think what you're excited though, or for like the cool skills, right?
Oh,
like,
you knew. How did
what's
you
it
know?
called?
I know the cool skill.
Yes, the cool skills.
He knew. Yeah, I can't wait for the coolness level. Unfortunately, it's not about how cool you look with shades.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting that they added something like that because I guess that's kind of like your charisma, like in most other games.
Yeah.
So that's cool that they give it a different name, and they even have like a like street cred. I think that's really cool.
Yes,
that's interesting.
Street cred. I want to max that out immediately.
Yeah, like because it gives you like incentive to actually do the side quest. I mean, I always do the side quest. I like to complete everything. But I know a lot of players like to just do the main quest and get it done, and they're done with their game. But the fact that you have a system rewarding you for doing it, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like they've definitely they found a way of encouraging players to really just go for everything in the game.
Yeah. I just really can't wait. I'm already looking forward to like second and third playthroughs, man.
Right?
To tell you the truth.
For real, right? You got that pre-download done?
Yes.
I was surprised it's only 50 gigabytes, 50 something.
Yeah, it's not that big. Not too bad.
I thought it'd be a lot more.
I mean, we'll have to see after the day one patch that a lot of these games get, but
it's true.
We'll see. I mean, at least we have most of it downloaded. I know for like the PlayStation guys, they gotta wait like I think a day or two before the game actually comes out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that kind
Oh
of
no.
sucks.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not
at least
about
it's a
that.
day or two before. Could be worse.
Yeah,
Could be
could be a
day
lot
of.
worse. So I'm just watching myself
But
play Tetris right now. And I'm just like, man, the amount of mistakes. I'm like, oh. But yeah, man, I think Cyberpunk's gonna be a really, really cool game, and the way they really kind of encourage you to play it how you want, man. All these different skills. I guess that's kind of the whole point of the RPG
yeah,
kind of genre. But
I've even heard that you could actually complete the main story without even really knowing it, because you don't. It's so non-linear that you could end up going
yes,
through a side path and still finish the game.
yeah, I heard something like that. Yeah, you can kind of finish it without doing the main kind of story too, which I
So
think's
like
interesting.
that's almost like a streamer's like wet dream, right? Because I mean, no one's gonna have the same playthrough, like really at all.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so cool. It's like infinite content almost.
Yeah, and especially with streamers, they've done that content friendly kind of DMCA tools, where they've
Yes, that was
well,
such a
I
good
can't it's
move.
called like streamer tools or something. But yeah, I think it's a really cool thing, man. I've not seen it in any game before. I think
Yeah,
like
because
that.
they're gonna have like DMC friendly soundtracks, so they don't get
Yeah,
flagged for the soundtracks and also like for the nudity. So I mean, if you don't,
right.
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to play without that, but
For real, right? You know what I'm
I
saying? It's
understand
part of
that
the
they have
experience.
to.
I need to see this.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just the more and more I hear it, and the more I look into it, I'm just so hyped. It's gonna be great.
Literally, I feel like it's been worth the wait. Waiting all these years. I mean, I haven't heard about Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Not that long ago, to be fair, but say no, a couple of years ago. I haven't been on it since the initial trailer. But I think after always waiting, the game's gonna be worth it when it comes out.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to trash talk another game, right? But I feel like this is gonna be like a better version of Watch Dogs. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Because you're gonna be able to
Well,
do all that stuff too, like to an extent. But I don't know. It just seems like there's just so much more detail. I heard there's even like detail in the actual trash. So like how like
yes,
you'll see
yeah.
like
All right,
like
this is
remotes and bottles out in the world or whatever. Like in the trash cans, there'll be the same type of stuff that are out in the world, but like they'll be like crunched and deformed in kind of ways where there's actually like individual pieces. That's just so crazy.
yeah, right. And who does that? Like, you always get a garbage can that's got like a flat texture. It's just like, oh, no one's looking in here.
Yeah,
But they've gone that
exactly.
extra mile. They're like, okay, look,
Yeah,
we're
usually
really going
trash
in,
is like 2 generations behind in detail, right?
right?
Like it's Xbox Series X now, so you're expecting to see like Xbox 360 looking detail on the trash.
That's
That's
I feel like
man,
CD Projekt Red have really gone in just super super big boy mode on this game.
dude, I was really tempted to get that limited edition, like where they had the statue and all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
this game just seems like it's just so ready. I'm just so ready for it. My body's ready for it.
Ooh,
I
okay.
wish we had VR for it, dude.
Right?
That would
Oh
be
man.
incredible.
I mean, look, it'll probably come eventually, right?
Probably,
they
man.
got they got VR Skyrim at this point. I mean,
I mean,
give it a
they got
couple of
Skyrim
years.
on like on like
Fridges,
refrigerators. Yeah,
right? you seen like someone ran Game Pass off a fridge? I was like, what?
yeah,
The fact that you could do that just blows my mind. It is
yeah.
insanity.
Skyrim's on everything, and so is Doom. Those are the two main games.
Oh man, Doom. Speaking of Doom, it's coming to Game Pass PC, man.
Yes.
Finally happening.
Yep.
Ah
And
man, I remember when that came out for console on Game Pass. Crazy game.
oh yeah, it's such a good game. And it's actually coming on the Switch also. I think it actually might have
Oh
released already on the
yes,
Switch,
I think
believe it
I
or
did
not.
see something about that.
Yeah,
That's
which is
that's
pretty
crazy
cool.
to me. But
Yeah.
Doom's one of those games where it's just like this is mindless fun.
Oh yeah, and it's so fluid and fun, like great. Like you
hmm
just don't have to stop. That's the best part of it. Like it doesn't. You know how like a lot of these shooters now, like they'll kind of recycle the same method that you got in Halo, which is great. I love Halo, but you kind of stop to heal up and whatever. Like in this, like nah,
Mm.
you got to keep fighting your way through if you want to heal up.
Yeah, you heal through
I love
fighting.
that.
You gotta, yeah. It really kind of forces you like, okay, get stuck in. And I love
So
that.
visceral.
It's so different to like every other shooter I've played. I'm playing it. I'm like, whoa. Because I didn't really play the first the Doom when that came. I played a little bit of it. I never really played the
Okay.
full thing. But after playing a ton, I'm like, damn, I kind of missed out.
Yeah, you might as well. I mean, it's still a good game and it holds up really nicely. You know, I mean, I don't know if you'll like the old school ones. I mean, I have fond memories of the old ones from when I was a kid, and like especially Doom 64 when I used to play it. With my buddy at his house, I wasn't allowed to have it when I was a kid. But
Well,
yeah,
all that pixelated blood, man, it's scary.
oh, of course. But
No, man. Game Pass, there's a lot of stuff going on with Game Pass. I think they just added Control, right? From
yes,
Remedy.
yep, mm,
Same guys who made Quantum Break.
yep.
Another game I never finished.
Yeah, I actually I never even touched it. I really wanted to. It's just at the time I was so deep into Elder Scrolls, like I just never did. But I
Right?
mean,
Yeah.
I could always go back to it.
This is the thing. It's on
It'd
Game
be
Pass.
worth
I'm
it.
like, I
Yeah,
feel like I should
exactly.
go back and actually play the rest of that game because I really liked it. It's so
Well,
cool.
Dragon Warrior dropped yesterday on Game Pass. Also, I touched that a
Oh,
little bit. It was honestly way prettier than I thought. I think one of the coolest things about that is that you could play it in full 3D, like normal games nowadays, or you could actually play like old school 2D.
oh,
And
really?
it's interchangeable. Like you could stop at a church, and like let's say you're kind of bored of playing the 3D way, you can go to 2D and you could go back to it. Like you don't have to pick it from the beginning. That's crazy. It's
Huh.
really cool. Yeah.
It's kind of like what they do with the Master Chief Collection, where you gotta go back through like old
Yes.
graphics and new graphics. Ah,
Yes. Just like that.
interesting.
Yeah. So if you like the old school, like sprites of the the Final Fantasy type games and stuff, it's like a good callback to that. It's really cool. I like that.
I love how games are doing this now. We're kind of reprising their original selves, but like you've got the option to get this kind of new, fresh version. Same with Tetris. Like I never played Tetris that much before, but playing Effect and it's this brand new, flashy version of the game for a new audience. You
Hmm.
kind of it kind of opens that window up. So I'm definitely the kind of guy if I see an old game with some like ugly graphics, I'm not. I don't want to play that.
It works
So
nice. It looks perfect.
yeah, I love how they do this with games. They kind of give that fresh taste.
I know like BioWare just teased on Dragon Age 4 reveal at the Game
Yeah,
Awards. So I mean
yes,
that's a
they
new taste of
did.
something old right there.
Yeah, what was the last Dragon Age game? Was that Inquisition?
Correct. Yep.
And that came
It
out
was.
when the one came out? Like 2013?
Yeah, around that time.
It's
It
a
was
while
pretty
ago.
good. Yeah, it was pretty good, but I still think that their best Dragon Age was the first one, Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah, I've heard
Um,
about that. A lot of people were like, not that Inquisition was bad, but it just wasn't
well, I
like
mean,
the
you
old
could
ones.
play it since the EA Play, is part of
Yes,
Game
it
Pass.
is
So,
on there, isn't it?
jeez, yeah, damn. I hate to keep referring back to it, but
Right? I
it's
feel like
connected
it's
to
people on
everything.
Game Pass.
Jeez.
It's just like, oh, I remember this game was really good. Yeah, Game Pass. It's like, oh,
Yeah, so technically, I mean, when Dragon Age 4 comes out, you'll be able to play it at least for like a day or two before it launches, and then if you like it, you can, buy it. You know,
mm,
well, that's how EA Play works. But I mean, if they bring it back to its roots, I'll be happy about it. Inquisition, it was good. It was definitely better than Part 2, but I'd rather see a return to Part 1. Part 1 was their strongest one, in my opinion.
mm. Well, Game Awards is what 10th of December. About what 4 days maybe 5 days.
Yes. Yeah.
5 days. Say, people are saying Microsoft might be having some of the show. I know People Free have said, but they're not going
That's
to be there.
true. Yeah.
Which I think is a good expectation to set. But let me clarify. But if People Free said they're not going to be there, are Microsoft going to have something to show? I think they might.
I think they will. I think
I
they
think
really
they
will.
might. Not that they've been particularly quiet, but they've not been as how do we say talkative as they have it since that Bethesda reveal, the acquisition.
Yeah, exactly. But I
So I
think it's
want.
time for them to start, like, showing some of the things where their investments have gone. I mean, besides even Bethesda, I mean, they have so many other, like, studios, It's just, there's going to be a lot, people don't think so, but there's going to be a lot they're coming out with. I'm
Oh
definitely
yeah, for
looking
sure.
forward to.
I think this is definitely an important time to console launch. Christmas coming up. It's give people a reason to buy these new consoles. Not that there isn't a reason already, but just
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
forget it,
reinforce that
dude.
that message.
Get it just for the Tetris, dude. Look at that. How can you not
Literally,
want
like
to get one?
it's true. Look at it, man. If Tetris is looking this good, like
Oh,
it's
dude.
just a whole new
I still
level.
can't get over it. I've been having such a blast with it too.
Hmm
It's really cool to see that you really like it a lot too. Cause I know you love shooters, so to see you
Yeah,
really enjoy this, something that's completely different, that's really cool.
that's it, man. Because I've been playing shooters since I came on Xbox Live, probably before then as well. Like since like PS1, PS2, I've been a shooter guy. And like you said, I think coming into Tetris Effect, um, this game was so wildly out of my wheelhouse, and I've been like addicted to it. It's crazy. Like I literally I can't sleep at night. I'm talking about Xbox on. I'll stop playing Tetris. It's
Oh,
insane.
sorry, Bonix. He was saying, why do people hate Dragon Age 2 and 3? I want to say people hate 3. I think a lot more people like 3 than 2, but 2 was definitely a jarring change in the combat style and the storytelling compared to 1. Um, I'd say part 1 and part 3 had more of a similar storytelling technique, which made it more forgiving. But yeah, part 2 was just very different from the part 1 and part 3. But we'll see. I mean, we'll see how 4 goes out. I'm really hoping it's gonna be better.
Banks also in the chat, hoping to hear news from 343 and the initiative at the Game Awards.
Yes.
I think 343 have openly said that we're not going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aw, that's
I think
disappointing.
I think they put out a statement not too long ago.
Well, better they tell us everybody
Yeah.
beforehand, right?
This is the thing. I feel like they've got a lot of scrutiny of being very silent over Halo Infinite. Which is there's a lot of questions. Like I follow a lot of news on like Halo Waypoint and their Twitters and whatnot. I think Brian Gerard, he's been around since like Halo 2 in the Bungie days. He's basically saying that there's going to be like an end of year update from People Free on the status of Infinite. So that should come in the next week or two, I hope. I can only hope it will come real soon. But I did hear rumblings that Steve Downes, the voice actor from Master Chief, might have said that. I said no. I know it's upsetting.
Crushed.
It's really upsetting, man. But yeah, apparently Steve Downes said that the game should be coming out about springtime.
Oh my god, I hope so.
Which does kind of fit the timeline, I'd imagine. And I believe they said the game's like content complete at this point, so it's just about polishing it.
Yep.
So I can't imagine it'll take a year.
But still, I just can't wait.
Polish. Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be a great game. Bonnie's is really upset in the chat. I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain, but it's just a case of waiting.
I know a lot of people gave it kind of crap for like the preview of it, and this is not coming from fanboy. Cause I mean, I haven't played Halo since 3. Honestly, I haven't played 4 or 5. But there was something about Infinite's, trailer that kind of almost brought me back. Like, man, this is like it's like part 1 again. Like
yeah,
it's bringing it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
maybe that's just hopeful thinking, but
they kind of wanted it to. I believe they said it was like a spiritual reboot. So,
yeah, that's what it felt like. I think they got
yeah.
that message across. At least for me, it felt that way.
Yeah, they're continuing the story of from 5 onwards. Now I'm listening to the audiobook of Shadows of Reach came out pretty recently. It kind of fills in the gap between 5 and Infinite, and it's sounding pretty interesting so far. I can't lie to you.
Cool.
Pretty interesting.
I haven't read a Halo book in a while, so I mean, I definitely pick that up.
This is it. This is it. It was a pretty, because we're in 4 and 5, MCC and 5's on Game Pass. Like, play through the games. You know what I'm saying? Get the book and be up to date in no time.
It's so crazy, like how the lore of like some of these shooters, right? Like when you think of a shooter, you think, oh, it's just brainless, shooting fun. There's nothing deep about it. But Halo and even Destiny have like these storylines that are so lore intense that it's worth doing other things besides just playing the game, right? I mean, you have like the books for Halo. I mean, and now Destiny has like what, Dungeons and Dragons?
Right.
So,
dude, Call of Duty's getting some lore now.
No way, really?
Yep. They apparently Modern Warfare, the last one that came out, and Black Ops Cold War and Black Ops 1 are all related now. It's all the same universe. So
okay.
So there's something going on now, which is gonna be It's a very drastic turn from what Call of Duty used to be. It's just this Mountain Dew shooter.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's really good because then it gives like the player base something like more tangible, right? Like something
Yeah,
to like kind of hold on to that's deeper than just the PvP, which is great. But like if you're not in the mood for that, or if you want to have a little bit extra, you know, it
yeah.
gives
So
you more
fans it's
attachment,
like,
right?
yeah, the options there. So okay, all
Yeah.
these games there.
Okay, that might
Obviously, I think
actually bring me back.
it's a slow integration, but I think seeing how all these games kind of connect is like, oh, okay, interesting. You see these characters across games, and there's a lot of potential there.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I might actually stop back to Call of Duty for a game or two if they're actually working on like
Yeah.
deep, complex storylines.
So Modern Warfare, the one what just came out like, last year. So pretty decent story. Like the campaign was, I think, top tier. One of the best Call of Duty campaigns I've played in a while. And the story kind of continued in the Spec Ops mode and across the multiplayer seasons. They're
Really?
doing, yeah. So they're really kind of, they're pushing it there, man. It's. So I think that might tie into the sequel of the next Modern Warfare game and whatnot.
Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, and now you almost have like no excuse, right? Since they have like the free to play version of it, right?
Yeah,
So
Warzone's free to play. Yeah.
yeah, so you always can kind of like get like a little taste at least before you even like commit to it.
Yeah, and even Warzone from Modern Warfare is cross compatible with Black Ops Cold War.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all the same thing now.
Yeah, and I mean it's cross-platform too. So I mean, even then, I mean, you could always have someone to play with. You don't even have to worry about the servers dying out or anything like that.
Literally, yeah. Call of Duty's. I remember a couple of years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, people were saying Call of Duty's dying. I ain't gonna
Yep.
survive. And they really kind of just like Activision just turned it around. Like, yeah, we're back, back
Like
in the
they're
power
reinventing
seat.
themselves. That's good.
Literally. Yeah, I think it's
'Cause
really
I think what
impressive.
turned me off was the Advanced Warfare. Was it like when they had the jetpacks and all that
Yeah,
nonsense? Yeah,
yeah,
that's what kind of like kicked me off of the franchise,
yeah.
and
I think
I
a
haven't
lot of
been back
people that
since.
was a jumping off point,
Yeah.
which is very understandable.
Yeah, it was just
Uh,
that like to me it was like if I want to play that I'll play Halo. If I want to or like something similar like Destiny. I don't play
yeah,
Call of Duty for that. I play Call of Duty for World War II stuff or even like Black Ops stuff. But
right, yeah. World War Two was the game that got me back into Call of Duty. To be fair,
okay.
I went on a long hiatus off it, and World War Two was such a the market term was boots on the ground. I hate to repeat that message over again, but so I used to spam it all the time, but it was very just back to boots on the ground. It was just core gameplay again, and I was like, ah. And then the post game support for that game was phenomenal too. And World War Two
I
was
guess
just top Call of Duty back, man. It brought it back.
I guess another reason why I kind of turned off from the series after a while because it almost felt like how like these sport games will consistently like come out with a new game every year, so it almost
Oh
feels
yeah.
like you're buying the same game every year. You know what I mean?
hmm
So I think that was like kind of another thing that was trying to turn me off to the game.
I don't know
But
if you
it's
saw what happened with Madden. They got kind of caught out on something like that.
oh really?
Yeah, they. I think it was Madden 21 and Madden 20, something like that. Maybe 20 and 19. Um, one of the fields in the background, you've got like the advertisement boards, and they say like Madden on the side and whatnot. They'd, I think it's Madden 20, and some of like the backboards said Madden 19 on it. So
Oh yes, I did
they
hear that.
literally copy and pasted it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this has proved everything I've been saying for years. This is
Yeah,
it.
it's just I don't know, man, and it just sucks because a lot of those bad practices, you see how it like integrates into other like forms of gaming, And that's like the worst part of it. They're almost like the guinea pigs, right? Or like, let's see what we can get away with these guys, and if it goes well, then we'll bring it to the other players.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, we got caught. Let's not do that again.
Oh man, yeah, I forgot about that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, man. People just get away with doing these just wild things. I
Yeah,
feel
I mean
like
it's
we're a guinea pig market. We're a
yeah,
guinea pig market.
it's kind of sad though, because I mean, there's no reason for it when you have like games like I don't want to sound like a fanboy for World of Warcraft, but like you had games like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy that had been around for years, shipping new content instead of a brand new game. and the content is completely different. Like, so it's like if they can afford to do that, so can you. Not saying
Yeah.
that everything that World of Warcraft comes out with is the best ever, but I mean, I say this at least: the Final Fantasy community, Final Fantasy 14. I mean, they're ecstatic. I know they have Shadowbringers 5.4 patch coming out.
Yes, I remember seeing that in the document. What's that all about?
Um, just a new patch, more content, more dungeons, upgrade your gear. Um, I know for them, like their minimum gear level for like the raids and stuff like that is 455. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy 14 player. I've dabbled, but it's definitely a strong game when it comes to PvE rating. But like you definitely want to try to get to like 480, 490, so you can like be competitive in the game, or at least people will want you in their game.
Yeah.
A little tip for you guys who are trying to do whatever. I know you got to do the Saving the Queen Relic weapon quest if you want to get like an easy 485 weapon, just in case anyone actually is on the podcast who plays the game. So the Save the Queen Relic quest. That's gonna help you guys with a free weapon.
I remember that for when I eventually jump onto World War.
Dude. Honestly, he's been trying to get you to play MMOs forever. I don't know when we actually will get you to play one.
It will happen eventually. Like,
yeah,
I downloaded Bless. Like, Bonix talked about it, and I just ain't loaded it yet. It's one of those things. Like with me, I have a habit of just smashing out one game, and that's my game.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of them on there on the console. You got ESO, you got Blessed, you got Terra.
Yeah.
I mean, technically Destiny's that, so I mean that kind of fits the category, even though it's mostly a shooter than anything. But
yeah,
we're trying to get you in that fantasy world.
Introduction for me, like into that kind of MMO world where you can kind of it's still my territory, but it's also this kind of a bit more out there. But I think I'd like it. I think it's a very big. It's a jump, It's okay. This is a time investment kind of game.
It is. It really is, man. Especially because like some people, when they play their first MMO, they get hooked on it, right? Like, and then they never want to play anything else. Because they feel so invested in that game that playing anything else feels like a waste of time.
This is my thing with Halo Infinite coming out. Like, as soon as that game comes out, like no other game exists to me anymore. This is the same with Cyberpunk coming out too. Like, I want to get into a new game, but I know as soon as Cyberpunk drops, that's it. Like, that's my game now.
Yeah, I know. I really can't wait. I mean, it's not an MMO, which is kind of sad for me because I would love a great new MMO, but I think it just looks so good that I don't even care. Like, I just want to play it.
Yeah, it's supposed to have multiplayer, right?
Eventually, yeah. I think a year in, and that's gonna be free update.
Yeah, I saw something that said not really a multiplayer mode, but it's its own thing, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how we're gonna handle that in the long term.
Something similar to that. Didn't Red Dead Redemption come out with like their whole multiplayer, like a revamp of it?
I think what they've done, they've put Red Dead Online, which is their like multiplayer segment of the game, for sale separately.
Yeah.
So I believe it's I don't know $5 or £5, something like that.
Yeah, it's like $5 or $10. Yeah, it's really cheap.
It's interesting.
Is that on Game Pass or not? Because I think the game itself was on Game Pass, right? At one point.
Yeah, Red Dead 2 was on Game Pass at one point for a couple weeks. But I don't believe the multiplayer is on there at the minute.
Probably not, but
Red Dead's one of those games.
I mean, for $5. Yeah, for $5, you might pick it up real quick if you're interested in cowboy stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Even like a fun game. I remember hearing Red Dead Online wasn't. I think it is coming off the expectation of what GTA Online became.
Correct.
It's hard to. It's hard for even Rockstar to kind of make
to
something
replicate
like that
from day one.
Yeah, especially with a game like Red Dead, where you don't even have jetpacks and cars and apartments and all that. You got a horse and a tent.
Yeah.
Like I kind of said it for a while ago before, Red Dead came out. I was like, I don't know how well that multiplayer is gonna work. But I think over time it'll get better.
Yeah, I definitely like to check it out at least.
Yeah, for sure. It's so cheap at this point. I'll probably pick it up one day, give it a whirl.
Wow. But speaking of World of Warcraft, I know a lot of people have been complaining about it's almost a little too much story going on in the game at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially for people who've taken a break from the game, like the story is really out there. And as someone, I've played the game on and off pretty much since like the beginning, but I was more hardcore until about Miss Pandaria, and then that Worlds of Draenor.
Oh,
And
is that
after
the one with
that,
the panda?
yeah,
Oh,
that's when I
I remember,
started
I
to get.
remember seeing the adverts for that on TV. I was like, yo, this looks like King Kung Fu Panda. I was like,
I
oh, Warcraft,
know,
what's this? I was a
but
little kid. I didn't know what's going on.
yeah, I mean, it's the story is kind of out there, but I think the gameplay itself has returned to like a good spot, and especially for PvP players, it's like the best it's been in a good while. Like you can actually earn gear again and stuff. So hopefully, if the people who actually do enjoy World of Warcraft, they can kind of get past the story if they're not crazy about it and just enjoy it for the story. I mean, just for the gameplay aspect of it, because the gameplay I think is very strong right now. I think that's one thing that they've done very good so far from what I've played on the new expansion.
Yeah. Let's see, but I
Wow,
feel like how long's that game been around for?
I want to say at least 15, maybe longer now.
Hey, Jen's in the chat. How you doing?
Hey, Jen.
15 years?
It might be longer than that now, honestly.
Yo, that's a
It's almost as old
long
as you.
time. Literally, yeah. Damn. 15 years. That's a long time to be making a game.
Oh yeah, I mean, even Elder Scrolls has been out for a good while. I think Elder Scrolls is about like 6 years now or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I remember seeing the trailers for ESO at um, E3 and whatnot, and they got a castle siege going on and all this, and people
mhm.
think, can't you be like the king of the realm or something?
Yeah, that's why we were trying to get you on. Be out
Look,
there in
that's
Cyrodiil
a lot of
supporting us.
responsibility. I don't know how I feel.
You get to see your great Tetris gameplay in the background.
Yeah, man. Look, this is I feel I just keep watching it. And I'm like, man, just put that block there, put that block there. And this is myself, and knowing that I made so many simple mistakes.
It's not that bad. Like
No,
considering
it's
that
not.
you're coming from a completely different genre and you don't really play this, you're making decent moves. I see it.
Yeah, it's I'm so much better now, but I'm you know,
See, like right here, this one right here, this looks pretty strong. How you
yeah,
have it building up. I see that you're trying to build up the Tetrises right here.
yeah. This
You're
this is
learning.
like this is my best performance. When I was playing before when I was playing before the podcast, I got like 89 lines in like 5 minutes or something like that. I was smashing it. I don't know how much you played of the campaign of that game, the journey mode.
Um, a little bit. I gotta play more of it. I was
Yeah.
definitely getting into it, but then I've been playing Fortnite with my family a lot more recently. Believe it or not, I
Yo,
still
Fortnite's fun, man. I can't even deny it. I
yeah.
played some games of it. It's not too bad.
And the subscription. I mean, I didn't get the subscription this season because the outfit was a little too girly for me. But it's
Oh
a
yeah,
good deal for someone who, if you're someone who plays consistently, that subscription is great.
yeah. Yeah, I got Jen in the chat. She was playing Tetris with us last night. I got her in.
Cool. Okay,
I had like a
that's
whole
what's up.
Tetris party going on.
That's
I love
cool.
Look, I made the rule. Look, if you're in the party, you gotta download Tetris.
That's cool. All right.
It's fun, man. It's so different and so relaxed, and it's a no pressure game. I say
Yeah.
it's no pressure, and you get to like the final level of the game, and it's just like it's so much pressure.
Everything about it
It's
is just so good. Like the effects, the music, even the rumble, man. How the rumble goes with the music
right.
is just so sick. It's just so cool.
I don't know if I'd say I've been immersed in Tetris, but literally that's what happened.
It
Like
is because I mean, there's even some songs I've noticed that the music will kind of change depending on your like block, placements. Like
mhm.
it'll actually go with the beat. It's like so crazy how it goes. Like I
Yeah,
love it.
I remember I was watching like an interview or something with some of the guys that made the game, and they were saying that they kind of wanted to get that replication feeling of being in the zone, when when you're in that gamer zone moment when you're just like you're on
Mhm.
autopilot and everything's fitting in. They wanted to kind of really emphasize that with this game, and I feel like they've done such a great job
Oh,
with
they
it.
definitely did that. Yeah,
Yeah, you
perfectly.
just oh no, this footage right here is disgraceful.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh
Oh,
no, Don, don't do it.
no. Uh,
Trying to save your past self, but I can't.
literally, I can't. But man, it's a great next
Oh
gen
man,
game.
that's great.
If you got the Series X, I think it's on PS5 too. But I'd say definitely pick it up. But I think
Is it on the
there's a lot.
PS5?
I think so. I think so.
Okay. Huh.
There's a lot of people who can't even get next gen consoles yet. I feel so bad for
Yeah,
people like
it
that.
sucks. All these
There's some
scalpers,
stuff
man.
going on, right? What
I
was
mean, you know
the
what though? I'm glad a lot of these companies are starting to fight back against the scalpers, and it only makes sense, right? Because I mean, when the scalper sells, everyone loses. Not only do the gamers do, but even the companies, right? Because I mean, that money that they're charging extra is one less game that player is gonna buy, one less controller that player is gonna buy, right?
Yes, definitely,
So
100%.
it's good
I
to see
think
them
there
on
was
track,
yeah, there was like one group got like 3,500
Yes.
PS5s,
Yeah.
and I did some quick math on that, and I
Okay.
found out. So say what PS5's at $500 right now. If they sold all of those PS5s for $700, that's almost $2.5 million worth of money. That's a lot of
Holy
cash.
fuck.
That's a lot of cash, dude.
That's sick, dude.
I think that same group they tried to get a bunch of Series X's, but all the orders got cancelled.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Which is
That's
good.
beautiful, man.
I was quite happy when I read that headline. I was like, yes.
Yeah, that made me feel good. Even though I had mine already, like, no, dude, like, I don't want to see other gamers getting screwed over by people. Like, like, we don't even want to see people get screwed over by gaming companies. So they see them get screwed over by people who have nothing to even do with the system. That's just crazy.
Yeah, this is it. Well, I think a lot of these guys think they control the supply, which they
Yep.
don't because they don't because they don't create the console. So there's always
Nah.
gonna be more supply coming. I think they're just trying to benefit on people being impatient. So they just try and make a quick profit from it. But
Pretty
man, oh
sad.
man, it's a bit crazy, man. But with the Series X, they brought out a new update for the console now, didn't they? Nothing too crazy got added. I had more
But
animated
still.
backgrounds.
Yep.
I quite enjoyed that. I got a 360 looking one.
Oh, did you? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
the 360 looking one's our favorite one. Good
I-
old blades.
Nice. I gotta set one up. I haven't done that yet. I was
Oh,
looking
dude,
at
they're
them, but I
great.
didn't set one up yet.
They are great.
Yeah,
And
it's pretty cool.
they added that little like auto HDR simple thing when you're playing a game what uses it, which is cool. But I still think they need people asking for this kind of quick resume icon, like what games are on the quick resume queue. Because you don't actually know until you try to load up a game. So it should be interesting to see what they roll out in the future with these updates now. What else got updated? Assassin's Creed Valhalla got updated. They can't remember what the issue was exactly, but there was something to do with like an FPS issue on the Series X, I believe. And they updated now so it supports 60 consistently. Because apparently it wasn't doing that before. Which is
Okay.
yeah, it's been interesting. Because I think there were about rumors saying like PS5 is outperforming Series X and whatnot, and everyone was getting a bit in a huff and puff about it. I think it's a Digital Foundry video.
Oh yeah,
And,
Digital Foundry is just great for that kind of stuff.
yeah, they're great for that.
Shout out to them. They always do a great
Yeah.
job.
And what else is getting updated? Destiny 2 is getting an update.
Yes, that's gonna. It
December
already
8th.
looks so pretty. Like, it's so funny because I remember like playing it, like, wow, this looks so good on the Series X, and it's like, well, there's no update yet. It's like, what, really?
Right? Right? This is it. That update drops on the 8th, I believe, and that's 4K textures, 120 frames per second for the Crucible, which is actually going to be. It did
It's
not
coming,
hit Bonix.
Ebonics. It's coming.
December 8th, it's coming. This is the thing, like, the game looks great already, you know?
Yeah, it does.
And it's going to look even more crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I was bragging to Ebonics, like, when I first put on, like, dude, this looks so gorgeous. And then, like, he, like, broke the news to me, like, oh, there's an update coming. I was like, really?
You're right.
I was like, great.
Like,
This
even
is going to
better.
look even good. Yeah.
Yeah, especially the FOV slider, man. That's gonna be a big thing for me. I can't wait.
That's really cool. I'm glad they're adding that.
I started messing around with the FOV slider in the Master Chief Collection. They just added that in a recent update. And man, it changes the game.
Yeah. It really does, man. That field of view, man, like having it the way that you like it is just the best. No matter what game you're playing.
Especially now, like, this is a new thing for consoles now. You know, you didn't really get games with that option before.
True.
Call of Duty added it in. Halo, now Destiny. You know, it's gonna be great, man.
Oh yeah,
it's exciting to. I feel like the gap between PC and console is it's closing up.
It's narrowing.
It's closing up. You know, it's really close.
And you really see it too. Like, I mean, I'm a Switch player, and I love my Switch, you know, but it's just not as strong as the current gen, you know, and the computer, right? But like playing a game like Diablo 3, you really see it because like the field of view is so close on your character, and Diablo 3 is like a bird's eye view type of game.
Yeah.
And you're just so close to the character. Where if you're playing on the Xbox or the PC, you're so much more further out, so you can see like where more and more enemies are. So it's interesting to just see the difference on current games and current systems and how different they are. It really shows the strength of the Series X.
For sure. Ebonics in the chat. Games are future proof in ray tracing, 120 FPS, 4K, or HDR.
Yes.
Literally, man.
The ray tracing, dude.
Dude, that ray tracing update for Cyberpunk, that's gonna be a that's gonna be a thing.
Oh man, I cannot wait. See those reflections and everything.
And what? Yeah, I hope because Watch Dogs has it, but it's only 30 FPS, which is kind of a
bummer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm hoping like Cyberpunk and Infinite can kind of get that 60 FPS ray tracing. I think that's gonna be a huge thing if they can do that.
It's gonna be awesome. I think even Spider-Man on the PS5 is pretty much in the same standard, where it's like you have the ray tracing, but it's only at 30 frames, which kind of stinks because I mean it is a pretty game, but I mean the biggest thing that sucks about that game, even though it's great, it feels more like a DLC or like a expansion. You know what I mean? It doesn't really feel like a separate game. I don't know if you've played it at all, but
no,
that's just the feeling of it.
Yeah, one of my friends, he's been playing it. He's kind of in the same boat. Like, it's great, but it's just still not. It's not like its own individual standout title, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a $60 game. It feels more like a $40, like $30 DLC. You know.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, especially because like I think a lot of people who got the PS5 were hyped about that game. You know what I mean? But I mean, overall, I mean, being a Puerto Rican dude, I like Miles Morales. I think he's a cool character. He's kind of whiny, but he grows on you during the experience. Yeah, he has kind of like a little whiny, like I mean, he's a kid, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, it's kind of more whiny than I would want. But hopefully, in the next game, he won't be as whiny. He'll be like a legit teenager in his voice.
Yeah, I think Peter Parker in the original Spider-Man game that came out for PlayStation, he was like a bit more grown, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's
exactly Ebonics, whiny like Titus. Yes, exactly. It's from Final Fantasy X, dude. Like, oh man, like, I don't even want to even try to do the voice, bro. Like, I love Final Fantasy X. I had a great time with it, but he was the main character, and he was not my favorite character in the game. He was not. He was crying.
I feel like I've heard of Titus before now. This name's coming back to me. I feel like
you probably have, man.
I feel like I've heard someone talking about this dude.
Yeah, I mean, he was a huge crybaby in the game. Like because you had way cooler characters, Like he was not the best main character, dude.
Man, oh man, Titus, Final Fantasy. Yeah, I feel like that's a game I've never played. There's a lot of people talk about Final Fantasy. I've never actually. I don't think I've even seen much gameplay of those games. I have so little information on what is actually going on in Final Fantasy world.
So like the original like 10 or like turn-based combat, and then they're trying to get more and more into like action combat. So I would say your best bet if you want to get into it, if you don't like turn-based type games, I would play 15 first, or just wait for 16 to come out. And if you don't mind turn-based, I would say start with like Final Fantasy 4, 7, 8, or 9 first. Those are like the best ones right there. My favorite's 8 and 4, but I know everyone loves 7 because that's their first Final Fantasy they ever played, so they're biased, you know.
Yeah, that just seems like there's so many Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, there's a ton. Oh, I mean, besides the main
16
story
to 10.
ones. Yeah, I mean, you got like side games like Chocobo with this and Chocobo that, and you got
Oh
like
my
Final
God.
Fantasy Tactics. You got Final Fantasy World. All kinds of different games.
This sounds like I need a summer where there's like nothing going on.
Dude, you need a lot more than a summer when there's nothing going on. You need like a few years. Those games are long
I
too,
should have
dude.
got into Final Fantasy when when the natural lockdown should have.
Yes, you should have, because you would have had it would have fit perfectly. I mean, but they're like really long games. I mean, a lot of them are like, about like 80 hours, 100 hours of content right there.
Boy,
Yeah.
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. But they're worth it. A lot of them have very good storylines, and they're like a lot deeper than your typical game.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Everyone who's ever talked about Final Fantasy loves it.
Yeah. You can't love
It's
it.
one of those things I've never dipped my toes into that kind of world.
Yeah. I feel bad because I mean I grew up with that, so man, they're great. I mean the first 9 are from the original creator, then everything after that are different people because that guy retired, but they're still good games. The ones after.
8 hours a game.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of hours.
And that's not including like all the side content and stuff too that you can unlock, like the ultimate weapons, fighting like the secret bosses and all kinds of stuff
So
like
8
that.
hours just like the base story. Man, that's insane. That's a long, long game. That's a long game. God dang.
That's true. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition is on the Game Pass, but I mean, I believe Final Fantasy 8 is there too. So I mean, I wouldn't want him to punish himself by playing 15 first instead of playing 8, which is the best one.
Oh boy, I feel like we got some Final Fantasy debates going on, and I'm in the middle of it. Like, mom and dad are fighting.
Nah, 15 is good. If you want to play an adventure, I mean, an action-based combat, then you should play 15. If you want to play, turn-based, then yeah, 8. Check out 8. Yeah, 8's on the Game Pass. It's there. I love 8. It's my favorite.
Well, depending how long this Wave Infinite comes, maybe you never know. Might come online one day, see me on a Final Fantasy stretch.
Well, I mean, you'll be on. Probably not. You'll probably just be on Cyberpunk, dude. Honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. I forgot it was coming out. With these games, I have a habit of just kind of forget they're coming till like the day of. I'm like, oh yeah, snap. So I did with Series X. I just decided I'm not gonna think about it until the day before. Yeah,
it's the best thing to do.
Otherwise, you're in this anticipation of like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Oh yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people are doing with Halo Infinite. Everyone's just like, where is it? Like,
yeah, I'm really trying not to do that with Halo Infinite. I mean, I'm hyped for it, but I'm really just trying to like distract myself with other stuff. Especially now, I mean, with Cyberpunk coming out, I could definitely get distracted for a while.
Oh yeah, that's it, man. Just start filling that time gap. As soon as you end up in this trap of just waiting.
Yeah, like watching your gameplay still. Getting better.
Yeah, man. Because I haven't. Because I love Halo, but I haven't had a reason to play it recently. I've kind of done everything.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was playing Destiny, it kind of made me want to go back and play Halo and kind of almost compare it, because as great as Destiny 2 has gotten from what it was, it still feels like there's something missing, and I can't help but compare it to Halo because obviously that's where they started, right, Bungie?
Yeah.
And I think in my head, I think I know what it is that in Halo, I mean, besides the fact that it's a linear game, it felt like there was more variety in like the missions you were doing, right? Because you had like the tank missions, you had like the
Yeah.
banshees and all that stuff. You had to do different. There was even stealth missions, pretty much, right, with like the sniper
Yeah.
rifle and stuff. And I think that's kind of like what Destiny's lacking, right? Because like it's always kind of like horde mode, protect this, protect that.
Yeah, Destiny has a problem where the core gameplay of shooting is fantastic.
Yeah, no one could argue that. Yeah,
But they have a serious issue with just variety in missions.
correct.
Like it's just it's
Yeah,
ridiculous. I feel like every strike, I think the only thing what's different is like the raids, that's the only big
that's true.
different gameplay thing.
I think that's probably my biggest thing is because I haven't gotten into the raids. So maybe if I played more of the raids, I would enjoy Destiny more.
Yeah.
So
I think raids is like the one big thing. And I think this last raid what just came out was like the most played one by a huge margin. I think for the last couple of raids, only a couple hundred teams would pass it, or a couple thousand would attempt it day one. But I think with this last one, what came out a week or two ago, I think like 29,000 people attempted on day one.
wow,
That's a lot of people, man. And I think
wow.
quite a lot of people got through as well.
Now with the
Yeah.
raids, is there like a difficulty mode of it, like normal and hard, or they just flat out same difficulty?
I know in the first 24 hours, they have a thing called like contest mode, where you're
Okay.
at disadvantage to the enemies anyway. In Destiny 2, they don't really have what they used to have in Destiny 1, where it's there's easy, there's a normal mode and there's a hard mode. They don't really have that anymore. I think that's because not as many people were attempting the hard mode, just because it was hard. So it's like you're making a game mode for the 1%.
Okay.
So I think they just kind of stopped putting that investment.
But with the hard mode, did they actually try to incentivize it by giving better loot or gear?
Yeah, there was like better stuff, and like only certain
That's
weapons are
surprising.
available through hard mode. But yeah, it's just one of those where
Okay.
it's, you're going in something what's much harder,
Well,
but people just don't
well I
want
guess
to play it.
that shows pretty much like how I guess either how casual the gamers are on the game itself, or the lack of people actually watching that content, right? Because I think a lot of games will have hard modes for their raids, because even if the masses won't get through the content, there's still a bunch of them that will actually watch it, almost like an esport in itself, even though it's not PvP. Like people still like to see like the clears, right? Because they're like, oh, that's so cool. So I guess maybe they need to find a way to market that if they want to, bring that back to their audience.
Yeah, that's still like the
Or
world's
maybe it's
first.
just not worth it. I don't know.
Yeah, like the world's first is always a pretty big deal. They have like a wrestling belt for like the world's
Okay,
first people. It's crazy. But
that's cool.
I think it's about making it more accessible. I think I think raid content's pretty hard to make, and it's a huge deal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think people always want more raids, but Bungie need people to play them.
Yeah.
So I think making it more accessible is the better way to go through it, and I think they're doing a better job at it. This
In your
raid
opinion,
was not too hard.
do you feel there's more people with PvP in that game than there are PvEers?
It's a good question. I'd say there's more PvEs. 'Cause I feel
Really?
like, yeah, especially right now, because
So
I
do you
think
think?
PvP in the game is so broken.
Okay. So do you think
Yeah,
that's why they introduced the Gambit mode to try to like get
yeah,
PvEers into PvP a little bit?
yeah. I think they just tried to like do a combination of the two.
Yeah.
And
I do like Gambit mode. That's a great mode. At least for
yeah,
me, I
Gambit's
think it's
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Gambit is fun, but I think the problem with PvP, there's just not really as many rewards for it.
Okay.
So you can level up pretty nicely within PvP, but in terms of like long term and end game progression, there's not really a lot there for you.
Okay, so they don't have like the nice like legendaries and stuff like they do in the
Yeah, no, it's
raids.
all a bit like there is some stuff where you get for getting like a nice, they call it like glory ranks or whatever, just leveling up in multiplayer, but there's nothing like a raid exotic for Crucible, which is the online.
That's true.
It's not. So less incentive to kind of go over, and especially with this new Beyond Light update, they didn't even add any Crucible maps, so I feel like
Well,
people
to jump back
sometimes
on
get
Halo,
brushed on
have
things.
they like announced anything about like gear and stuff like that? Because I think they're trying to go that route too, right? Kind
Um,
of, or no, or is that just an assumption on my part?
I don't think they have. Don't think so.
Okay,
No, the
because
thing
I
is
don't know.
like,
There's something about it that feels kind of MMO-ish to me, also.
yeah, I think Halo's in a strange. It has been in a strange place the last couple of years with
Yeah,
online. They've gone through the kind of ways, but I think People Free's got like a grip on it now. But yeah, because they with Halo 4 they had the loadouts and people didn't really like that. So they kind of go back to that core arena, even loadout play. Just everybody's got the same stuff.
which is the best for PvP, right? Because if
Yeah,
everyone feels more balanced, no one really feels like they got cheated, right?
this is the thing with Destiny. You don't really have anyone can be coming in with anything.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of the new stasis subclass in Destiny, which is like the ice one, is just it's broken the game. That's
I've
the easiest
heard
way I
of
can
that.
say.
That seems crazy. Like
Uh,
you can actually like, freeze people.
yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, you never had a subclass where could change the sandbox, you know.
Yeah,
But this one, like, you can create like ice walls and stuff. Like, you
yeah.
can fully just block off entire areas or freeze people, and it's just insanity. They had to nerf like the warlock one, the ability there, but even then, it's everything's still just. It's
So you're
mad.
like almost like forced to like grind that out.
If you're in multiplayer and you don't have a stasis subclass, you're at a huge disadvantage immediately.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. Cause I saw some gameplay of that, and I was like, wow, that seems so cool. But then I was like, I wonder like how bad that is for like I mean, especially like someone like me, right? Like I'm such a casual player in Destiny 2. I don't have my stasis yet. Cause I've played with it like in the quest, but I don't have it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I would hate to fight someone like that because
Oh yeah.
it's just
It's
brutally
it's an
unfair.
experience. It's an
Yeah.
experience. Let me tell you that, Tio. It's not fun.
But at the same
So,
time, if I was that guy, I'm sure I would use it and it would be fun for me because
yeah, this is the thing. It's absolute distraction. And
yeah.
if you're the guy using it and you're destroying everybody, great fun. But as soon as I see a dude with stasis run at me, I'm leaving. I'm running away. As soon as I even hear it, I'm not involved in that firefight.
Wow,
Oh
can you
man.
believe it? It's time already, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I think
An
actually we
hour
went
has gone
overtime.
already.
Yeah, I definitely want
Um,
to troll Ebonics.
he wants to join Destiny. Oh, I think
I
he
want to
would
have the power
definitely.
and no one else to have the power. That's what I want.
Yeah, look, one day, dear. Wait for that patch to come out.
That's every MMO player's like dream, right? Like at least for fantasy MMOs, like trying to find that secret thing that no one knows about, and then just wrecking
Mm-hmm.
people who have no idea about it yet.
Mm-hmm. That's the name of the game of Destiny. If you find the thing,
Mouth shut.
ooh,
Don't tell nobody.
yeah, that's it. Like, like I got a few secrets. I'm like, oh, let's get this one on the down low for a little bit. But yeah, this is it, man. I feel like the hour's gone real quick.
It was an hour and a half, dude. I think.
Is it?
I don't
Are
know.
we? Oh, I know we went live at 3 for me, but I think we
Oh,
went here
really?
a bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, either way, I'm good. But yeah,
yeah.
I know Abonis is busy, so I don't want him to keep monitoring us and everything.
But yeah, no, I feel like without Ebonics here, I feel like we've done all right. Dad wasn't here.
Not too
I feel
bad,
like
Daddy.
we've done. You know,
Did him
we
proud.
we did. I'm proud. We put our hand in the cookie jar, tried some new things.
I know Don wants to get back to Tetris though, because like that
Oh,
event, right?
oh, dude, I was yeah, it's great. I love. What was I doing? I was playing Destiny earlier. I got a new weapon. Yo, I thought it wasn't available anymore, but
Oh,
it's
thanks, Jen.
there, man. Oh, lovely Jen. See, this is why we're about community.
Oh yeah.
Nah, honestly, I feel like today's been a fun episode. Daddy Ebonics. We did him
He'll be
proud.
back.
He will be back next week. We can only hope. If not, I will. I'll do my Ebonics impression sometimes to make us feel like he's here. But right, should we call it that deal? Should we call it?
Yeah.
Right, guys.
I want Bonds to be able to focus on work.
Right. It's been lovely for everybody tuned in. I've been your boy Don.
Dio here. Had a great time.
Big
Thank you for
deal.
the support, guys.
Yeah, man. We love it. We love it. We'll be back same time next week. Peace.